One of the things I love is sitting outside on a snowy day hunting deer. White-tailed deer are one of the most plentiful types of big game in the United States. They're fun to hunt and delicious to eat. If you're thinking about deer hunting, then you should learn the basics before heading out. Take it from me, I started hunting later in life and didn't have a mentor to teach me. There were a lot of things I should have known and would have saved me from learning several hard lessons. If you want to become a skilled deer hunter, this video is for you.
A male deer, or buck, has a large body and antlers. A female deer, or doe, is smaller than a male. Baby deer are called fawns and are identifiable by the white spots on their bodies that fade over time. A button buck is less than 6 months old and has bumps called pedicles from which antlers grow. It's best to avoid shooting button bucks so they can mature to become full adults with hopefully large antlers. Whitetails have a wide habitat, including forests, open prairies, savannas, mountains, wetlands, and even suburban areas. They are crepuscular, meaning they are most active at dawn and dusk. White-tailed deer sleep, or bed, at different times throughout the day and most anywhere, but generally prefer heavy cover for protection and in the company of other deer. Yet, it's not uncommon for them to be lying in the middle of an open field. Much of their time is spent foraging for food that consists of a variety of crops, including grasses, corn, acorns, fruit, and other vegetation. As any hunter will confirm, it's easy to spook a deer due to their acute senses. Deer have good vision, especially in low light, and can easily detect movement. And contrary to popular belief, they are able to look up, so keep that in mind when in a tree stand. Their sense of hearing is also quite good, with a keen ability to distinguish human sounds. For this reason, it's important to walk slowly and not shuffle your feet, as well as keep clothing and gear quiet while hunting. A deer's sense of smell is considered highly sensitive, and therefore, many sources will tell you that hunters must eliminate their scent. Personally, I am quite skeptical of the idea that deer spook easily at human scent. First, having lived near humans for so long, they have undoubtedly become very accustomed to our smells. Second, it's impossible to eliminate human scent, so it's more likely that they perceive unnatural movement and sounds as most startling. That said, we do recommend minimizing your scent to some degree with a scent control routine. We'll cover that later. You can hunt on both public and private land. Public hunting land is parks, forests, or game lands managed by federal or state authorities. Private hunting land is owned by an individual or other entity, such as a hunting club. It is illegal to hunt on private land without the permission of the landowner. Many states require that you have written permission. Locating public hunting land is easy via the internet. Private land is a bit more challenging to find. Typically, you approach a landowner for permission. Some state game commission websites list private landowners who have agreed to allow hunting on their property. Mobile apps such as OnX Hunt can help you identify who owns a particular property of interest and examine its terrain. Once you find land to hunt, you need to determine the likelihood you'll see deer. There are some reasonably simple ways to do this. Search the ground for scrapes. A scrape is a bare patch created by a buck that can be a few inches to a few feet in size. It's often found under an overhanging branch called a licking branch. Scrapes and licking branches are used to establish territory. Bucks use their hooves and urinate in scrapes, as well as lick or rub their heads on branches to deposit scent. This is typically done right before and into the breeding season, or rut. Another method for locating bucks is found on the trunks and branches of trees. Rubs are areas of bark rubbed away by the head and antlers to remove velvet and deposit scent. Antler velvet is a soft membrane that covers growing antlers. Does the hunting property you're considering have water sources? Deer want to be near creeks, streams, and rivers. While deer are not picky eaters, look for some of their favorite food sources such as acorns, corn, alfalfa, berries, beech nuts, and persimmons. A sure sign of deer is trampled down paths in fields and thickets created from consistent travel. Often these connect bedding areas to food and water sources. Also look for tracks in soft ground. Once you've determined there are deer in an area, Some site considerations should include whether it is easy to drag a dead deer to your vehicle, and are there ways to approach without alerting deer too much. After choosing where you'll hunt, you must next decide which methods to use for harvesting a deer. Let's begin by examining ways of concealing yourself from deer. Hunters typically use a tree stand or blind. A tree stand is an elevated platform attached to a tree. The main types are ladder stands, climbing stands, and lock-on stands. Each allows you to see farther, situate yourself above a deer's sight, and make it more difficult for them to smell you. Tree stands are more challenging to set up and use, as well as create safety concerns from potential falls. It's vital that you use a fall arrest system.
If you choose to hunt from a stand, you must understand it is dangerous. There is a significant risk of falling and being seriously injured or killed. For that reason, it is imperative that you wear a safety harness that is secured to the tree above your stand. I highly recommend the Hunter Safety System X1 Bow Hunter Harness. It's lightweight, easy to adjust and put on, and comfortable regardless of how many layers you're wearing. This is a must-have piece of gear. To purchase one, click the link in the video description or visit the products page of our website. It can save your life.
A ground blind is a collapsible portable shelter made from synthetic material stretched over a frame. It's a great option for new hunters unaccustomed to sitting still or uncomfortable with tree stand heights, although they do reduce your field of vision, especially at a distance. An elevated blind is typically made of wood or plastic and placed atop an elevated platform. Like a tree stand, it situates you above deer and allows you to see farther. Blinds offer the benefits of allowing more movement, greater protection from weather, and may reduce scent distribution. You can choose not to use a blind or stand and instead practice still hunting. This involves walking slowly and silently between periods of standing still while you search for deer. This is very challenging, so we do not recommend it for new hunters. Harvesting a deer is done by using some type of bow or firearm. Archery hunters use either a recurve bow, compound bow, or crossbow. Some of the most popular caliber of rifles used by hunters are a 30-06, 308, or a lever-action 30-30 or 444 Marlin. Other options include shotguns that fire slugs, muzzle loaders that fire a single bullet loaded manually through the barrel, and in some instances, a pistol. I cannot stress enough that high-quality clothing is essential for staying comfortable in the field. So, spend as much as you can afford. That said, you should choose a camouflage pattern that complements the terrain in your location. You'll need clothing for both warm, cool, and cold days, so base layers, mid layers, and both wind and waterproof outer layers are essential. Are you required to wear blaze orange where you plan to hunt? Most states require it during the firearms season. Protect yourself and fellow hunters by wearing the proper amount, as well as always checking your background and verifying your target before firing. Other than a gun or bow, not much else is needed to hunt deer. Yet there is some additional gear many hunters choose to carry to improve their chance of success. A rangefinder is an essential tool for archery hunters and is used to determine a deer's distance from your location and adjust your shot. Rangefinders and binoculars are also useful for spotting deer. A deer's sense of smell is highly evolved, so hunters are encouraged to minimize the chance of deer detecting you. There are products designed to reduce your scent, ranging from inexpensive ones, such as body wash and sprays, to more expensive options such as ozone generators. Paying attention to wind direction significantly reduces your chance of being detected. Determine where you expect deer to approach or bed down. Then try to choose and approach your hunting spot downwind. Having multiple hunting locations helps when wind directions change. Be sure to use weather apps to monitor wind direction. Another option for hiding your scent is done with doe or buck urine products from companies such as Code Blue. You can place the urine on a piece of cloth, wick, or other device hung near your hunting spot. There are several ways to attract deer to your location to make harvesting easier. A food plot is a small to large area of land planted with annual or perennial plants such as corn, alfalfa, turnips, fruit trees, peas, and clover. It serves as a supplemental food source for deer and becomes a natural part of the land. Deer calls are used pre or post rut. A doe bleat mimics the way doe communicate their location, and during the rut, indicate to bucks they're ready for breeding. A grunt call mimics how bucks communicate their presence and location and that they're breeding. Rattle calls simulate the antlers of two bucks colliding during a territorial fight. You can purchase natural or artificial deer scents that come in liquid, aerosol, and solid form. They can be distributed on wicks, drags, fabric strips, or poured on the ground. Baiting involves using attractants to lure deer to your location. This can be a pile of corn or apples, sugary items, as well as salt or mineral blocks or liquids. Baiting is illegal in many states and may have harsh penalties. Always know the laws on using attractants where you plan to hunt. Links to all the products mentioned can be found in the video description. Please subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our videos. Visit our website for more hunting information, products, and delicious venison recipes. Now that you know the basics, watch the other deer hunting videos to learn more. You'll be a skilled deer hunter in no time.